And we're back. Supreme Ruler Ultimate as Venezuela. So, we're going to start getting into a little bit of an economic, we'll say, war around us. We want a lot of the nations around us dependent on us, on stuff. And we need to figure out just what certain countries around us are really, really dependent on. Agriculture, you need rubber. How is your money situation, though? Okay, so 25 million. Now, it doesn't say how much they make per day. So, do we want them to be dependent on us for rubber? Or do we want them to be dependent on us for money? What else are they producing? Timber is good. Petroleum, so they don't produce any oil. So, what I can do is look to see how many barrels they have and say, I want at least a third of it for 60 days. And I'm willing to pay you $2 million per day. Which means, theoretically, what will happen is in a certain amount of days, Panama will default on this oil deal. What will then happen is we then also get a casus belli, or a purpose for going to war with them as well. Which is kind of funny. So, because they're not producing any oil, so we're going to try to do that with Panama real quick. We're also going to try to do a deal. They're not producing any coal. They have coal. So if I ask for 1 ton over 60 days, they won't even do that. Oh, yeah, that's good. No metal, no power. Consumer goods, though. What if I asked for 30 days? So here's the thing, too. They're going to run out of here as well. Now, this isn't really gaming the situation. This isn't really cheating. This is basically us looking at them and waging basically economic war. We're taking advantage of them. We're saying, hey, I'm going to give you a lot of money if you can give me consumer goods. Their production does not match what they have, so they'll do it. So basically, they're going to be sending us consumer goods and oil, theoretically, for a very, very, very long time. Industrial goods, we're going to do the same thing. 60-day deal. This is going to cost us a lot of money, but it should, in the end run, put them in a deficit where they actually are going to owe us those three goods. Over time, they'll catch up, which is, going to be good for them. Ooh, Colombia. We want to do different deals. Yeah, here they've got a lot of it. We're going to hold up here for a minute. Industrial goods is really the thing you want to get on a country, because once you take their industrial goods, they can't produce any of the major goods. I'll do that. Because once a country can't produce industrial goods anymore, they're done. They're willing to give me half. So here, they're willing to give me half of their industrial goods. So theoretically, we can actually ruin Panama and Colombia pretty quickly here. Now, the ways they can obviously, as I said, they can change it up, is by, like I said, just making trade deals themselves, buying up what they're going to be in default with. Now, it will take a couple days. Sorry, a couple months possibly for this to occur, but look at that. So Panama is already in arrears with the industrial goods deal. So if we go to diplomatic offer and we go here, right here, they're already, I think that's 95 tons in arrears already. So if we let the days go by, click here real quick, we wait, I click again. So now they're in arrears for 200, oh, here we go. For 95 tons, 25 times. So they're in arrears for 222 tons of industrial goods, plus an additional thing right here. They're currently in arrears for 74 additional industrial good tons. So now, if we go here and say how much industrial goods they have none. We have theoretically put them into a position where they're in not the best of shape. Now, what I can do to speed up what's going on in Colombia is max out how much they have and say, hey, I want to buy all your industrial tons. We want to buy 21 of the 50 that you have. We're going to offer to them. They'll sell it to us, and then 2 months from now, or a month from now, they should fall into arrears here. So we're asking for 4,000 tons a day. So the question is, once we see this green little bar here go to 0, they're done. They now owe us their industrial goods. Once a country has no industrial goods, they can't do military goods or consumer goods or build anything. And they're completely dependent on us. 1 more month. So as of this month, once we take over, we should be a couple $1,000s in arrears with Colombia. Boom. Colombia now owes us 4,000 tons additionally. Now they owe us an additional 6. So as of this moment, Colombia is now going to be in a bit of an economic situation where, if I click over here, you'll notice consumer goods production has now gone to 0, and military production is now technically gone to 0. Sorry, consumer goods, it's 0, but if you look, it's light blue, meaning that it could be up high. So now, if they want to be able to produce consumer goods or military goods, they need to buy industrial goods. Or first off, they need to pay us off. So we're actually now in a spot where we're basically going to also hike up the cost of industrial goods by buying up all the industrial goods around us and slowly causing these countries to go basically into default with industrial goods, which is what I would prefer. So for example, with Ecuador here, we're going to do a trade of 60 days. I'm going to buy up 9,000 tons a day, or 9,000 over 60 days. And then we're going to pay them 1.6. Whoa. I might have to wait for this one. The plan is just to go one country at a time and just slowly, but surely cause this to happen. Now, also, industrial goods prices. 2,500. If we look up our spreadsheet here real quick. Industrial goods were at 25, so we've already caused the price to go down. Now, the reason why it's gone down is because we're buying them up. Once we stop buying them up and other countries start buying it, or sorry, we're buying it, but we're also dumping it. If you actually look right here, so we're actually selling as much as we can. Yeah, we're selling. So, long story short, we're basically causing the price to go down because we're flooding the market. So we're also hurting ourselves. Now, if I turn around and said, I want you to do this, then I want you to actually cut back on our sales. So now we're only selling 30% of our surplus. And we're also going to start selling it at a higher cost. This should start causing the prices to go up. We probably won't sell as much. I don't care. Look at that. It's already gone up by 25. There we go. Now, what will happen is as we start buying up and doing this to all these countries, it will take a little bit of toll on our own economy for a little bit, but in the end, it's no big deal. David, look, we've already caused the price of industrial goods to go up over $100 additional a ton. So I think we've made our mark a little bit today. 59 and 25. And the plan is to basically corner the market and have everyone forcing themselves to basically give us industrial goods. That's a hope, at least around our general area. The odds are we won't be able to corner the entire world market, but it's a good way to wage a little bit of economic warfare. Now, the only problem is if governments get overthrown, which can theoretically happen, we lose all those industrial goods that we would also be depending on and getting every single month for free, basically. So one of the things I like to do is once it gets to a certain point, we'll actually be selling industrial goods to these countries for them to turn around and give the industrial goods right back to us because they owe us the goods. And it gets into this nice little circle where they won't be able to do anything because we own all the goods for them. Now, like I said, sometimes certain things happen that are out of our control. But you never know. But I do like the fact that industrial goods now, the cost of them is going up. And yes, it is still costing us a lot of money to produce them, but that doesn't matter. Basically, we're going to force the price up so that we make money on the overall international market. Like, just from what we've done, we've increased the price by over $100. So I think that's well within everything here. Let's watch to see. Nope. So you see now the prices are going back down again for industrial goods. It's not a good thing. What I can actually do is do a lump sum. Actually, no, let's do a 30-day, like so. Then buy up what's left for 178. So yes, we are losing a lot of money here, but we should, and they actually should be now, as of the next day, 2,000 tons in arrears. 8,000 tons in arrears. You guys, 53,000 tons in arrears. You guys. So here, they've actually caught up a little bit. And they're only 7 tons in arrears. Well, here they're only 1,000 tons in arrears. Which isn't that bad, actually. Which means they've bought they've bought the tonnage from somewhere else, and they've actually shipped it in, basically. But it's a good way to hurt the country. 1 second. Boom. See, now here is the entertaining part. So we're gonna go to counter. They're actually now asking us to purchase industrial goods to basically pay off what they owe us. Because if you click on industrial goods here, they don't have anything. They got 0 industrial goods. So this is where kind of the gaming part comes in, where basically we're going to give them, or we could give them this, and they have to turn around and give us the money for it. Instead, what I would do is say, I'll do a lump sum of basically giving myself around, if I click here real quick, so they're 58,000 tons in arrears. I'd be willing to do 23,000 tons. I want you. So they're willing to give me $7 million for this. I'm actually going to ask them for more money than that. I'm going to actually ask them for 31. No. 20. Not 20. 14. Nope. 11. No. So they're willing to give me 7. So what if I ask for another 1? Okay. So they're willing to give me an extra 1. What about an extra 4? No. An extra 3? No. An extra 3. An extra 2. So they're willing to give me an extra 1.35. So I can get 8 million tons, or $8 million. For 2,334 tons. Now, here is where it gets very interesting. Let's grab a calculator real quick. So, the cost of industrial goods right now on the for us to produce is $2,997, but the overall price right now in international markets $2,601. So we do 2,334 times the international market rate of 2,601. That should be $6 million worth, but they're going to pay for 8. So they're actually going to pay us $2 million more than market for the industrial goods. So of course we're going to agree with that. Now here's the best part. Watch this. So they owe us 58. We're going to unpause. They still owe us more. So once they agree and give us our money, oh, there we go. See, now it just went down. It went down to 59. So we basically got industrial goods for $2 million more than market from our neighbor who owes us industrial goods. So basically, we got $8 million for nothing. Trade War 101. Right there. Industrial goods, lifeblood. it'll get to a point where we'll have ridiculous amounts of money coming in just from industrial goods. But right now, the thing we want to do is we want to charge the most, and we want to obviously bulk that price up. Problem is that as we do all this buying up of industrial goods, we'll be actually forcing our own price down. I know that sounds weird, but it's the way the market is, right? The more people that buy it, the more demand for something, the price goes like. Basically, the more people are buying it, we're also selling it a lot more. If that makes sense. Yeah. Basically, by buying all of it, people are then buying it from us, so we're then selling off a lot more. So we're basically selling it off at the same rate as we're buying it, but we're actually selling it off more. So in the end, the price will go down in the short term. Long term, the hope is that we can actually drive that price up. I mean, we can easily drive the price up just by not trading in industrial goods whatsoever and being the primary holder of industrial goods. But to do that, obviously we need all the countries around us to give them all our goods. Because right now we're using it and buying it at the same time. So right now I'd say sell 0% of our production. We'll build up our stocks and we'll buy, because we're not buying like hundreds of thousands of tons. We're buying 30,000 tons, 20,000 tons, 40,000 tons. And the hope is that that will long term cause the prices to go up. But that's the end of this episode. See you next time. Bye-bye.